Hello and welcome to another episode of the Construction Corner podcast. I'm Dylan, I'm your host. And today, guys, we are going to be talking about leveraging AI strategically, reinvent management and performance, balancing outcomes, and we're going to talk about Revit automation strategies for firm automation. Now, I've got a bunch of things here to talk about, and I'm all jacked up on Form Energy. So, we're ready to rock and roll through this. So, leveraging AI, like again, here in the last number of podcasts, I've been talking more and more about AI. I think it's very topical. I think it's very top of mind for a lot of people. And as we heard in the last episode, like basically most of you guys know you need to implement it, right? There's like 70 some odd % of you that know you need to do something with it, but like 6% are actually doing anything with it. So this creates a huge opportunity for those of you who actually implement and take this to heart and do something with it. So first off, it's like automating admin tasks. A lot of this is around, like, I use the example of scheduling, but it also can be like, putting together reports, summaries, doing research for any given market that you're trying to go after. A lot of this also comes down to like training material. So if you record yourself in training something, like just pull up Zoom, Teams, whatever on your computer that you're already paying for, create a meeting with yourself, record it, then have like AI transcribe the entire thing. Well, now, and then you say like, hey, create a SOP out of this training video that I put together, and you give it the transcript. So then it basically summarizes and then formats it into a standard operating procedure document that you're able to use now. Well, that's an admin task. So let's say the video is 15 minutes or half an hour. Let's just say it was half an hour for your initial training video. So with that, you had to record it. That took a half hour. Then you had to transcribe it or put it into words. That would typically take at least another half hour, probably another hour. So now you're at an hour and a half. Then you would have to organize that into an SOP. So it's probably another hour and a half to go through that. So now you're at 3 hours in doing a thing versus 30 minutes to record, 30 minutes basically to transcribe, put in SOPs, and then reformat. That's you physically going through the reformatting piece. So it takes 30 minutes to record, 5 minutes basically to transcribe, format. AI's doing all that for you. And then for you to go through and edit in another half hour. So you just shave 2 hours off putting a SOP document together, right? That's huge. You do that across, like, let's say 4 hours worth of content. So it takes 30 minutes on for the average piece of content, 4 hours. That's 8 pieces of content. You save 2 hours per. It's 16 hours in total. It's 2 days, right? So you just save 2 working days in doing all of that you're now able to do basically in a morning for all this content. That's huge. So when we look at a lot of this stuff, is you're now able to do things a lot faster. Then if you're able to create those training documents, that means you can train people faster. You can onboard them, train them, make them productive members of the team sooner. And with that, it allows you to do more. They get paid more, right? Everybody's happy. So as we leverage AI strategically, like these are the things that we can think about in basically updating how we get to work. Now, the manager role. Managers historically were in like training people. Like it was the best person of whatever task that you were doing. And that's who like trained you, other than like the senior person on the team. Well, the senior person on the team needs to be like better at doing the thing, right? So the classic example is always in sales. So your best sales guy, the best guy to go out and hunt, kill, bring back clients, they are terrible at training people. Like historically and categorically, they are bad with like training people how to do it. So you want those guys to be the most effective because they are fully selfish. Like they're going to go and win, and that is what they do. But a sales manager cares about training, making their team better. They genuinely care about the team and people. And so when you genuinely care about the team and people, you will pour more into them. And so sales organizations have this right in that the manager is typically the trainer. And so if you flip that into like an engineering firm, is historically the manager was just like the best engineer or somebody who's like slightly more people inclined, but they may or may not be the best trainer within the org. So really what you have is like, now you just have somebody in charge of like scheduling and then engineering reviews, where when you look at a total org, you might have somebody who's great at training, right? Doing the, like, this is how you do stuff. Here's how to do it. Gets the big bulk of things like there. And then you bring in others to help train on specific, very technical things, right? They are an engineer through and through. And then you get them to try and teach through it, but with the help of the engineering manager. So while your engineering manager might not be like the best guy, they can do 95% of all the work or 90% of all the work in training. And then for some like very specific technical pieces, you bring in like your senior engineer, your best and brightest, to like try and teach it. And they work with the engineering manager to like dumb it down so that it's simple to like teach the next guys coming up and how to do that thing. And then the engineering manager also would deal with like any people issues, vacation problems, or taking vacation, like scheduling who works on what projects, right? Then it's basically creating them into a, like, they're there to empower the team, help train them, help improve them, help put more throughput through the whole of the engineering team, with like your most technical people still working on very technical projects and doing what they do best, right? This is basically an optimization of like putting the best people in the best seats for the entire project to make sure that everything goes smoothly. So when we think about all of that, makes sense. You just might not have the right people in the right seats in your organization. And then when we talk about fostering human capabilities, it's basically that, right? Putting the best people in the best seats, investing in like them as people, right? Upskilling them, creating like these partnerships, right? Hey, you learn more, we pay you more. Pretty simple, right? You're able to output more, we pay you more. You're able to do more, we pay you more. And that is a very like simple bargain between the two of you. And that's effectively what you've agreed to as an employee and employer relationship. That, hey, as an employer, I'm going to pay you to do these things. You learn to do more things. We pay you more respectively, right? Pretty simple agreement. Most people just don't take it on themselves to like learn more. They feel it's on the company to do that for them, or for them to learn at work. It's like, well, we pay you to do this thing at work. Like, you're not going to have more time. So if you want to learn more, it will give you the skills and like resources to go and learn more. But like, that is outside of working hours to get paid more. And so I think we always don't realize this trade-off as much, to where like, yes, you can learn somewhat on the job. Like, you're going to have to do that. But to really improve and get to that next level, you're going to have to do more outside of work, right? In the other 8 hours that you're not at the office and not sleeping, to like upskill yourself so that you can get paid more and be more valuable to the organization. Because if you don't output any more or output anything more valuable, then like, why should the organization pay you anymore to show up? So we got to think of like, it's two-sided, right? We're not going to just pay you to learn. You can really, you think about it, you should be paying the firm to learn like you do a university, right? But nobody does that. So take it upon yourself to like learn and grow, and that'll basically unlock your capacity, eliminate this low value work, figure out how to use AI to do it. And maybe if you use more AI in your workflows, you can spend more time at work, like training and developing yourself. So there's two sides of this whole equation, right? But as a firm, and really developing a whole ecosystem to talent, like how you're going to do this stuff, it comes back to like very simple things, man. Like, record yourself training, put it in transcripts, put in SOPs so they have a video, they've got Word document, you improve that thing as you go, and everybody wins through the whole process. And then at the end of the day, like, you got to consider your people, right? Who are you hiring? How do they work? Who's best at what? how do you foster a competitive and, team environment to get the most out of people and they really enjoy working there and being there. And a lot of this stems from like you as the leader of the organization have to be the very best person to work for. The reason like Amazon, Tesla, like get these incredible people to work at their organizations is that like Bezos and Musk are exceptional people to work for, or they're exceptional people. So people want to work for exceptional people, that you get the most out of yourself to work for inspiring mission to them, right? Like, again, a lot of great and exceptional people work at SpaceX, Tesla, Blue Origin, Amazon. Say what you want about the companies, but like a lot of really smart people go and work on these very hard problems because they admire the people leading it, and they continue to push the envelope and continue to prove that they are great individuals, and they attract great individuals to work on their teams. So if you're a mediocre dude, you're going to attract mediocre people to work for you. Like, that's how it works. You have to be so much better than everybody else so that you attract the best talent to come and work for you, work around you, and be on the team. Like, that's how it works. So, the last thing here from like Deloitte and going through this outlook is like, if you're an unstable organization, right? Your revenues are up and down, your leader is erotic or neurotic, either way, then like people aren't going to want to work in that environment. They want stability. They want predictability. They want to know who they're working for. And so again, using Musk and Bezos as like examples, you know what you're going to get out of these guys. Like, you're going to get high demands. Like, they expect high standards, they expect the best, and you pretty much know walking in like kind of what to expect. You might not fully understand the level of work required to be there, but you understand it's going to take a lot. Now, until you're there, you don't truly know what that means, but it's going to take a lot. And so being great also means that like revenues are stable. Your mood is pretty stable, right? People know what to expect of you when they come into the office. When you have that in a high standards environment, like, everybody is going to succeed. You can't be up and down. You can't be moody. You have to be like anchor in a harbor, right? You're constant. The waves come in and out, but that ship stays in the same spot, right? As the tide comes in and out, winds blow, whatever, as a ship at anchor, like, you are stable. You are the calm in the storm. And that's what these guys are. And so at the end of the day, what this all comes down to is leverage the tools that we have as an industry, be a great leader, care about your people, and ultimately, if you care about your people, hold a high standard, great people are going to want to work for you. And when great people work for you, more things get done. The output of the firm rises. You get better clients. When you get better clients, more great clients want to work for you, which means more great people want to work for you. And it just reinforces the entire cycle. So first, you have to be great. You got to do great work for your clients. Then you attract great people to work on your team. Having great people on your team means your clients are happy, which means they refer you to others and you get other great clients, or you can showcase the great work that you're doing for your existing clients to get more great clients. And it's this big flywheel that keeps revolving around. But all of that in the center, you as the leader of your organization have to hold a high standard. And when you do that, implementing automation becomes easy, right? That's why only 6% of firms implement, any tools or lead the way. It's because they have great leaders at the forefront of it. So if you want to be that top 6%, then you have to hold a high standard, be a great leader, lead from the front, do all of this work, right? All the future work that is going to grow the firm, as well as today's work to keep the firm in business. And with that, you're going to be super successful. So guys, that's going to be this episode of the Construction Corner podcast. Until next time.